Bill, freestyle while I'm adjusting my pop filter.
Yo, pop filter adjustment. I'ma catch you out here because I'm hustling.
No, do an Eminem style rap.
Yo, lyrical miracle, hit him with the lyrical, typical, my
But
whole...
about pop filter. Pop filter, a schmop smilter, and a cop filter. The crop filter, the cop's the cop, the my realtor. Snop the sop, the glop, the my rop, the fifth.
Dude, I'm pretty sure I'm listening to Eminem right now.
Got the top kilter. My snot spilter. Smart filter and a big crocodile cock shilter.
Dude, all I'm saying is I'm all lyrical, my balls spherical.
And his name is John C.
I'm trying to complete it and it just don't make sense. I wrote Bill was rap battling Eminem. It says, both rappers were discussing how they were all done with the situation. The big rapper guy said, fuck Bill. He should have killed us right there. Fuck him. Bill just shrugged his shoulders and shot him a look of amusement. Eminem then said, I hope you're proud, because next time you want to rap all over my face, I'll take your ass apart. And then the Eminem probably had the best part of his career. His rap was really good, and it's inspired me to...
That's actually based on a true story.
Yeah. I wrote, Bill tripped over his own genitals, and it followed with, no word yet on his trip to the local hospital and possible injury to another person. That's it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm glad no one was hurt.
Denied.
Dude.
Reach the top and... Oh, I see you.
I see you.
There you are. Oh, man, I was worried we'd get separated.
Dude. Nah, dude.
Follow
the divorce
me.
papers aren't final.
Now, everybody, just follow me. So, everybody, just follow me.
Marshall.
Just follow me.
Imagine naming your son Marshall.
Yeah. No wonder he was a troubled individual.
A troubled Ute.
Ute.
Our God is an awesome God. He reigns on heaven and earth or something. I don't know the words, but my tree.
Eminem or something?
What?
Huh? What up? What's up?
Our God is an awesome God. He reigns. Eminem or something.
He what? Is that legal?
What, weed?
No, what he does. The verb you used.
He reigns?
Oh, reigns. Oh.
God damn, Rav. Get your head out of the fucking gutter.
What did you think I thought you said?
Our God is an awesome God.
I feel like I'm in hell. I feel like I am in hell.
Oh my God, I'm in hell. It finally happened.
Yeah, nobody tell me tractor.
Bam.
Told you, dude. I'm a soldier, dude.
I'm a soldier.
Eating all the food. And my balls are nude.
Both.
Damn. Both.
Oh,
Damn.
shit.
Damn, dude. Iron Man would be proud.
I am Iron Man.
That shit hurting.
I'm not going to give up. Rick Astley wouldn't have gave up. Where's he now? He's somewhere. Somewhere we'll never know. God. Oh, me. Oh, me. My palms are sweaty. Knees weak. Arms are sweaty. There's vomit on my sweaty already. Mom is sweaty.
Hey, I'm back.
Oh, dude, I've made so much progress since you were gone.
Oh, nice. What have you been using as a motivational factor for yourself?
I've been asking myself what made me this way.
Why don't you have some sort of treat for yourself? If you win, you eat something nice.
Like what?
I don't know. Do you
My
have
own
something in
ass.
mind that you maybe want to eat afterwards?
My own ass. I want to eat my own ass.
So for
after
lunch
this.
today, after this, you're gonna go and eat your own ass, is what you're telling me.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, boy.
Perform for tips. Right next to this guy.
Dude, the dude is it's people have come to his show and and in the middle of his set. Wait, how did we just get $500? Was that Arrow?
Absolutely no idea.
What is Arrow doing? Is he big balling on the other side of town?
I don't know, but no one stopped you yet, so.
Yeah, I'm just he's doing like, no, everybody from the 313. Meanwhile, I'm like,
You're Papa Docking him right now.
get it, I get it. I think I understand now why I feel so apathetic. When I'm the one that stands out on these other dudes pathetic. But our music is playing at the same time.
Yeah,
different BPMs and clashing.
Give me a drink, bartender.
This episode's been kind of heavy, man. Let's talk about your boobs.
You know what? It has been heavy, so let's talk about...
You just gonna ignore the fact that I just hit you with the hardest guitar solo, air guitar solo that you're ever gonna fucking hear in your life, and you're just gonna just act like that shit ain't happened.
Hit me again.
Can
Can you do double time? Double the double time. Now do quarter time. I didn't say 4,000%. I said like quarter time.
I'm so glad people pay for this content.
This is why I don't live with you no more.
Dude, you're just mad because I ate your ice cream.
I'm just mad because you ate my ass cream.
Yeah, dude, Preparation H tastes good. You know what
Huh?
I'm saying, brother? What? So, how about this whole, how about Eminem being white? Real weird, huh?
Hey, what's up with the airplane food, huh?
Imagine being the first dude who ever make the airplane food joke.
Do you think he's still alive?
It wasn't Seinfeld?
Is he still alive?
I don't think so. I think he was killed long ago and sealed away. Before he was sealed away with the rest of the other evils that we don't speak about.
I'm glad Seinfeld
Is dead.
has been sealed away and banished into the shadow realm.
Finally. We
long
can live
last.
with life. Live life. I can't talk today. Finally, we can live. Oh God, my chair just exploded because of my huge dong.
How the fuck you think I feel? Don't ask no dumbass questions.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give them play-by-play. Rav is
Play-by-play.
next to an orange tree, and he's jumping
Here's
really
Rav.
high to get an orange. He just got
You got it. Everybody, you got it.
Yay!
Rav just fucking yoinked an orange off of an orange tree.
Might I say
And it was
an orange off
impressive,
the
to be
lowest
honest.
branch.
Rav just yeeted
Well, this
the
is mine
whole
now.
orange.
It's
And he
warm.
worked so hard to pick
Orange
directly
fight.
at Frank.
Not orange, man. I would get hurt.
This orange is definitely lower. You tripping?
I'm not tripping. I know
Hey,
my
yo,
proportions.
climb that tree and get that one up at the top.
Oh.
Climb it. Oh.
Rav
I'll
just
never
threw
do
an
it.
orange at Bill.
This is a warm
Yeah,
orange.
because
I just
they're
got
in the sun
pelted-
all day.
I got pelted with a warm
All my
orange.
orange is warm and shit.
See, that's that's like an Eminem rhyme.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm battling Madeline.
What was the other one?
It wasn't the lowest. I could.
Okay.
Why did
You
you
win.
hit me with an orange? What did I do to you?
catch it.
No, you hit me in the stomach with an orange.
What was the other one besides Battling Madeline?
Battling. Oh, I'm exhibiting riveting.
Riveting.
I love that one.
It's like, could you imagine like a frog just like roll it up?
But that's the thing. Eminem also does like this voice sometimes. You know, like,
Yeah.
I'm exhibiting, and it kind of sounds like a toad to me sometimes.
That's what-
He's exhibiting riveting.
ribbit.
That's definitely like a weird like voice, like the vocal fry voice. I've only ever done it once on like Everybody's Gangsta Till the Pants Start Walking. You're just like,
That's right.
Yo, you know that other Eminem delivery? The war, we'll win a war. I've been a ball.
That's whenever he's like pretending. He's pretending that he's freestyling.
Yeah,
Like, once
yeah,
a year,
yeah.
he'll release a video like, "Yeah, check this fucking Shady Records
I-
freestyle
one of my
session where
favorite
everybody
things-
spits their verses."
My favorite thing is this is like when he did that one where it was like him like
With Royce.
Was it with Royce? What he was like the Trump one? Is that the one?
Oh, I mean, Royce was in the back. There was a bunch of people in the back.
But when he did the Trump one, it was mad funny to me because like
I mean,
he was like
some parts definitely were freestyle. I mean, I hope the coffee pot parts were freestyle.
But he's walking around, okay, walking around like a crazy person.
That's awfully hot.
Okay,
coffee.
And everyone in the fucking room, is looking at him like he is a crazy person. Okay,
realize.
Oh shit!
That's Eminem's father.
Everyone's there is like too scared to be like, "Yo, man, are you okay?" Yo.
But he literally, I think he starts his shit off of like, that's an awfully high coffee pot. Should I something? Probably not. Like, dude, you are Eminem. People like to bring you into the top 5 conversations, GOAT conversations, and you start your shit with that. So that's why it's funny to me. Shouts out to Lil Jon. In all honesty, he's done some incredible things and very inspiring, just creator in general.
I mean, it's just weird. Like those were all like top 10 songs, and they all came from one project file. It's really weird.
I mean, yeah, Crunk was the wave.
Yeah. And I'm not even like ironically saying that. Like Lil Jon was like actually like a really dope producer. There's like a bet.
Oh, I'm not being ironic either. Like I really respect Lil Jon a lot. I know there was a point in time when a lot of people within, like underground hip hop and like backpackers were like, oh, this is the death of hip hop right here, But in all honesty, I think it's like Get Low is still a good ass song. Show me other songs from 16, 17 years ago that like hit as hard.
Still slap,
I feel like
I
feel like even in the club, comparatively now, it just doesn't slap as hard. It kind of actually is a bit weak.
Yeah, I just think it aged poorly. I think that whole like world sound, that whole like Scott Storchy kind of like, I know Dre made that beat, didn't he?
Right, yeah, he did.
Yeah, but it was like that same kind of like vibe was like really popular then. Was like, I say Scott Storch just because it was like he was like the man at the time, but like that like world vibe and beats. I think the only like world vibe beats that like aged well from that time period was like Timbaland shit. Like or maybe like some Neptunes.
But the thing is, like, if you I feel like if you like play Get Low in the club, people would still like vibe to it and be like, oh shit. And if I ask for in the club, that would only be played in like in a white club.
It'd be like a joke. Yeah, it would be like a joke. For some reason, I thought you were about to say like, like when Get Low, like if they play that in the club, I'm taking my shirt off.
I would. And however, like I can't see in the club being played unironically somewhere outside of like Eastern Europe. No disrespect to Eastern Europe.
Let me tell you some shit, man. When I was DJing weddings for a living a few years ago, there was like legitimately like it would be like the most non-rap listening ass white families would always ask for In the Club.
Mm-hmm. Of course they did.
Or like it'd be the same people would be like, play Uptown Funk again.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on Uptown Funk. I like that song, but it was the same people that would be like, yo, play that In the Club, and they'd be like a bunch of like really awkward like white women be like, go shawty, it's your birthday, and it'd be like all like offbeat and shit.
Yeah,
it was like
what's
best.
Weird because back then I remember sometimes they would play Eminem in the club, like in 2004 2005. That's when that's when I used to sneak out into the clubs, and like thinking back, like can you think of a single Eminem record that would sound good in a club setting? I'm not disrespecting Eminem, he absolutely is a genius at his craft and very respectable MC, very technical. He's made some amazing songs. He's made some tremendously horrible songs, but he's got a legacy, right?
Yeah.
However, I don't think he's really ever, maybe like a feature on that Akon song, Smack That. That could maybe like be okay, be passable.
I don't think that necessarily like Eminem himself wouldn't sound good in the club, because I think like there's a bunch of songs that he's featured on that would sound good in the club.
Yeah.
I just think that like the type of music that he made, especially like the dancier stuff, was kind of corny on purpose, I feel like, and because it was almost like lampooning. I mean, it was lampooning like
it was,
like pop music. So it would be real silly. It was goofy back then, but now it's like even goofier now because like all of those references don't carry over to like pop culture of today. Like so like I don't want to be like listening to a song talking about Jessica Simpson like now.
Yeah, it was very much a zeitgeist of its time. Like I remember Without Me being in the club, and now just thinking about it, if that ever came up in the club now, imagine being in a strip club and Without Me comes on.
That's so
like,
weird.
I'm picking up all my money and walking out.
I would say the best verse from him, and it's not even a best verse, but it's a verse that on a song that would be in the club would be like the Lil Jon remix of Lean Back.
Oh, with
he has
Mace.
a verse on that. Yeah, that one. I mean, I could see that being played. I mean, it'd be kind of corny still, but like that's like the one that I think would like hold up the best out of everything.
Yeah, I feel like Smack That would still hold up better, just because Smack That. For some reason, I could see that being played in the club and people still being like, "Oh, I remember this one."
I mean, I think that either or, it's gonna be like a certain vibe, but all those people are gonna be like non-rap listeners.
What would be the worst?
You know what I mean?
What would be the worst Eminem song in the club? I'm thinking like,
I mean,
I'm a soldier.
like Yellow Brick Road or some shit.
Until I collapse, I'm spilling these raps. Long as you feel them, like in the club setting, and be like, "What the fuck is happening?"
No, that shit would actually kind of slap if it was in the right setting. That one would actually kind of slap, I think.
Right setting, yes. In the right setting, in a trailer, I feel like a trailer like for a movie or a video game would be good. But
yeah,
what would be
already been.
What would be even worse though for like the club? What's the worst song I can?
I just imagine it being something that's like real like Haley's song or something would be real weird.
Kim. If
yeah.
Kim came on in the club, that's the worst one, where he's like screaming at her and killing her throughout the song. Yeah, that would.
We'll see. Like
everybody just sitting at the club.
You know what I think the worst song that was like designed to be a dance song?
What?
What is that song where he's like the doing doing that song?
Is it the one with Nate Dogg?
No. It's the one off of Encore, and it's
the doing. Where he does that accent.
Yeah, it's really bad. Like it's like really fucking bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Pretty much anything like off of like Encore would be really bad in the club. Like Big Weenie would be bad. That'd be really bad.
I thought of another one that would sound good maybe in the club potentially.
What?
I forgot how it goes, but it's the one with the bottles and such, with Dre and 50 Cent off of Relapse.
Yeah. That would definitely be the one in the club. Yeah, crack a bottle. Yeah.
Oh, so crack a bottle, let your body waddle. Yeah, that one could sound good. But yeah, I like to imagine Kim being played in the strip club. I'm just like sitting there, like everybody's avoiding eye contact with one another, just like
it's just like women are sitting there stripping to a song about like abuse on a woman and like murdering a woman, and they're just like sitting there like wide-eyed, like scared as fuck. Like
yeah.
Jesus Christ. It was definitely a time period in music that I just don't think a lot of it aged that well, but then I think there's definitely some gems in there that,
for sure. And now we can see.
I like my bum is on your tits. My bum is on your tits.
Okay, hold on. I think I saw some.
What was that?
Something.
Did you feel that?
Yeah, I heard that, but from your side, because again, I don't hear my own audio. It sounded ominous. Ominous and crominous, a lot of ominous.
Oh, God.
Hey, you know what we can talk about?
What?
We need to address your that acute condition you have.
I am cute.
Your toenail biting addiction.
Dude, how are you gonna air me out like this in front of my peers?
You're like a bedroom fart. Gotta air you out.
All right. Is that an Eminem punchline? Yeah. Well, yeah, dude. It all started when I was 25. And I watched this documentary on toenail biting.
Play the sad violins.
Okay, I'll be sure to edit that in there. So the documentary is about toenail biting, and I was like, this is the lifestyle for me. I saw it was ruining people's lives, but like I knew the initial rush of that toenail biting would really just set me off. It really triggered me, friend. And so I just started. So it's not a moment that goes by where I'm actually biting my toenails right now as we speak. Like every time I close my mouth when I'm talking, I'm biting it. I'm chomping at a toenail.
On the flip side, it's made you a lot more athletic than the average person.
I would say pliable. I'm more pliable, bendable.
Definitely. You're like a briefcase.
Yeah, I can fit in a briefcase now. A very big briefcase.
That's why they call you Bill the Briefcase around here.
Dude, that is why they call me that. That's weird that you would, air me out like this.
Be aware of, again, can you make up an Eminem punchline to throw at me now? Just so that we're like fair and square.
Okay,
Even Steven.
Okay. Your bars is dookie poopy. Is that good?
Oh my god, that's so good.
I mean,
that's exactly something he'd say.
That is actually something he said. He said that in 8 Mile. So I don't mean to be that dude who, I don't mean to be the dude who bites, but you put me on the spot. I can't freestyle. As soon as they asked me to freestyle on SuperMega podcast, they were like, yeah, dude, let's hear some bars about having sex with your father. And I was just
they didn't say that.
They did, dude. They did.
They didn't. They just said freestyle, and you're like, should I talk about fucking your dad, my dad? And they're like, it doesn't have to be dad fucking bars. And you're like, whose dad am I fucking?
Whose dad do you have to fuck the fucking dad around here?
Yo, my dad, he's not like the rest. He's kind of like a cute girl, just minus the breasts.
I saw someone recently talking about Eminem and his latest album, right? And they were talking about how like he was like really just trying. It felt like he was doing the most in terms, whether you like the album or not. I really wasn't that big of a fan, but like he was definitely trying his hardest in terms of like, let's do the most multis, let's do the most internal rhymes, let's try to hit the most punchlines humanly possible. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like let's rap really fast and do like weird like staccato flows and like he was really going on all cylinders basically, right? Yeah. And then they were talking about how, have you heard the new Jay-Z verse on that Meat Mill song? Yeah. Like that's like one of my favorite verses I've heard in like a long time, especially it was crazy, right? Super crazy. And like it felt like so effortless. And then I realized it. The reason why Jay can have a verse that's like more impactful and crazy, not just because his pen game is crazy, but it's like he's not like full power all the time. It's like he kind of powers up when he wants to, but he doesn't have to. You know what I mean? And like I think a lot of rappers try to flex so hard, and while trying to flex, it's clear that they're trying to flex. Yeah. I feel you. It's like M is like Yamcha jumping out of nowhere, just like throwing punches in every direction. Yeah, doing everything, and then just like fucking who would be a good example? Like Cell coming out of the woodworks, just arms crossed, and just kind of like moves a single finger, and it's like, oh shit, that shit was dope. He just like he doesn't even attack. He just moves his finger, and everyone says, "Oh wow, that's dope." That's just well, like I'll have more impact. I see what you're saying. So like in terms of the multis and all that, I think one other as I continued to discover more, I don't know what you would call them, literary skills or something, right? Writing abilities or writing like facets. I started understanding that like, oh man, just there's a lot more to rap and poetry in general, and I think that's when the ego started to die down. And I started finding more things like, alliteration. I'm a big fan of introducing alliteration, especially if it serves a purpose, like for adding a visual aesthetic to sound, like someone like a poet like Wilfred Owen. He was a first world
World War poet who was in the trenches, and he wrote poems where like he would describe the bullets passing by the trenches, and like he would have like these f and s sounds, you know. He would just have a lot of sibilants and like f alliteration in the poem, and it just felt, and it would be sharp single syllable words whenever bullets were passing by. And it just like that whole, his poetry felt visual as I read it out loud. I was just with the sounds alone, not just the descriptions and the adjectives. Like that's when I started understanding that like, okay, adjectives is one way of describing something. The way that you control your voice is another way. The way you pace yourself is another way. The consonants and vowels you choose, and in what succession you choose them to have, that creates another effect. And I think that was beautiful, because now I'm at a point where the more and more I do, the more I realize there's just an endless like world of opportunities in terms of writing. And so I got to a point where my raps weren't ass anymore, subjected to some of y'all, but in all seriousness, I got to a point where I felt like, okay, I have all these abilities, and I've lived a lot of these experiences for a long time that I just didn't know how to put into words. And now I'm able to, with a lot less effort than ever before, because now I've practiced. I've been in the dojo for all these different types of things that I have in my repertoire.
Right.
That everything comes together better. And I guess this is a very long-winded way of saying this would be my best advice, because this is something I'm sure you get all the time. I get it all the time. How do I start?
Yeah.
How do I rap?
Yeah.
How do I get started? I mean, you don't need to nobody needs to tell you how to get started, because you just get started yourself. That being said, we're living in an age where people YouTube and Google everything, so I understand why people are asking questions. It makes sense. And it's flattering that people come to us with these questions. My advice would be, learn the things you can do with language. Learn the techniques with which you could employ at a later point to put your message across. And then you get to a point, and you know, it's not always about like using the most fucking poetic way and to talk about the deepest aspect of your life. It could be a funny song. It could be a very almost like a tribal kind of song where there's very few words or whatever. It could be a good song. But I think it in general, like, you want to study that shit, you know, not in a sitting down with a book kind of way, but really just getting into it, man, diving into it and not rushing to success.
One thing I would say is, because people always ask me that all the time. They're like, oh, how do I get started? How do I get started recording? How do I get started writing? What would you say to like help me write and stuff like that? And honestly, like, there's like a list of don'ts to do in terms of like just how to carry yourself, because a lot of this is like networking and like talking to people on the internet and talking to people in real life, and like basically in terms of that aspect of it, just don't be an asshole, be humble, know your worth, but don't be a dick to people, you know what I'm saying? And like,
definitely
incredibly cool for me, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know, but then when like the snap back to reality.
Yeah.
Get it?
Dude.
Oh,
dude, it's Mom Spaghetti. Well, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Good song. Fun
Spaghetti.
song.
Yeah, dude, I like that. I like that song a lot, like how it turned out.
What's a movie that you definitely really, really like?
That I really like.
Just pick one at random. That isn't 8 Mile, because you just always talk about 8 Mile.
Yeah.
Move on.
Damn.
This sword is a cursed sword, I'm afraid. I never told you about this because you never asked. You never asked me about anything. You don't care.
Sorry.
You don't look me in the eyes no more.
Dude, how come we don't even talk no more? And word is on the street is we even beefing now. Ain't no way, no how. This bullshit can't be true. We family. Something Eminem reference.
Grapevine.
Heard it to the grapevine.
Okay, here you go. Take my sword. Fuck it.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm being cursed.
I'm gonna fuck you both.
Oh. You know, honestly, I was cursed, but it feels like it's pretty sick. Like I don't feel that bad.
Can you kill him, please? He threatened to fuck us both. No.
Well, I mean, like let's not take that off the table.
I'm gonna fucking insert.
I'm done. I'm just saying it's been a little while, you know. And I'm thinking like maybe
get over here.
Oh God, he's got me. Rav, help! Rav, use. Throw the snake at him.
My snake will go limp if I throw it again.
If you throw it hard enough, it will harm him.
Okay. Yeah.
The snake wraps around his throat limply.
I'm allergic.
But enough for him to realize he's allergic to snake. Thanks, dude. You really murdered him right behind me, and you got the EXP that is necessary after.
Power up.
Hold on, I did want to say there's something that I wanted to come back to earlier. I've been struggling to come back to it, but I want to come back to it because I want to get y'all's opinion on it. Okay, So earlier you brought up D12. And it just I spent the majority of my Friday evening Googling pictures of Eminem wearing a do-rag.
Right, as you do.
As one does.
There are several. I mean several. I'm talking about not several. Like there's like dozens of pictures of Eminem wearing a do-rag on the internet.
Yes.
And I just want to know, like, why?
I'm actually really into fashion. Like, have you noticed the fashion trend that everyone's wearing high visuals? So they're wearing like things that like are reflective, or they look like construction worker colors, because people just want to be seen.
That's sad. I mean, like sad as in like, oh, you know what I mean? Not like pathetic. It's more like, oh.
Yeah, but it's like all evolution. So like I could see like Eminem during that point, he wanted to blend in with like the people he was hanging out with. So he used that as a fashion choice.
I guess that makes sense. So I think that collectively we should just bring back do-rags.
Do it.
Eminem jumps on Jim Jones. He goes 313. You know,
he jumps on him.
He just jumps on him. 313.
Does he like fuck him up or anything, or he just kind of jumps on him?
Jim Jones like throws a punch, and both of Eminem's arms explode.
Excellent. There's blood everywhere, or like.
Yeah,
he's like floundering, like having a bad time, just yelling 313 over and over.
And then Eminem is just like, he does that.
Yeah. I love that. I love it when he does that. He did that on Infinite.
It is like, yo, battling Madeline. He starts doing that. Jim Jones is like, oh no. Like, exhibiting ribbiting. And he's like, oh. So they run out.
Freaky Zeke's just like fucking, he's just standing there. Like he doesn't know what's going on.
What's happening? So Jones urges Freaky Zeke to flee. They both run away. Eminem, armless, just starts like fucking running after them, you know? Fucking rapping straight. No, rapping straight multis. Just multis.
Oh yeah, he's just like sitting there.
And
like,
his King of the Dot flow.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, exactly. Like he's just like, Donald Trump, I got an awful hump. I hit that blonk and dump, and like he just like at this point he's just saying complete gibberish.
Yeah. He's like, you know, he's just chasing
That's
after
an awfully hot cocky cock.
Yeah, playing Minecraft with a blocky thought. And then like, you know, you sort of started hearing him less. He's like, as he gets further and further, you know, like, I'll kill you, Jones. I don't feel you, Jones. I got a million bones. You know, like, and you're
Eminem has a million bones. Yeah,
yeah.
dude.
So he's saying,
I forgot.
So he's saying shit like that, and you're like, okay, I'm butt ass naked with a knife in my hand that I pulled out of my ass.
There's blood everywhere.
Like you step out into the hall and you could follow where Eminem went after Jim Jones, or you could take the fire exit stairs down. You're only in like the second or third story of whatever building you're in, it seems, and just like go downstairs and exit. Like, what do you do? Which would you prefer? And then we're gonna roll the dice.
Wait, it's either I go down an exit or I could follow Jim Jones.
Yeah, you followed Eminem chasing
Fuck
Dipset.
it, dude. Let's follow Jim Jones. We gotta fuck Jim Jones up and watch Eminem fuck him up.
Yeah.
I'm not getting out of here until I get my money.
Okay, so if we roll a 1 or 2, you you fall over and break your neck. 3 or 4, you make it down to the exit and escape the building, butt ass naked. 5 or 6, you chase after Eminem chasing after Dipset.
Okay, just roll it up.
Yeah.
Roll it up. Roll up the fatty.
Okay, actually, I'm sorry. You rolled a 3. You go downstairs, take the stairs, the exit. You come out, and Eminem is actually there. So, luckily for you, that's exactly where they ended up being. Eminem's there, just like he's cornered all of Dipset at the end of this alleyway, like a back of the alleyway, because the exit you took is like behind the building. And so kind of like, like the fucking Lady and the Tramp kind of alleyway, and like Eminem wants
vaguely, yes.
Eminem wants to do the spaghetti scene with Jim Jones. Like he lets her know through like this visceral Maltese freestyles. He's cornering them. They're scared.
Yeah, like he's like losing like body functions because he's lost so much blood.
Yeah, he's just shooting
and
blood.
He's just like he's shooting blood out of both arm sockets, and it's just like going cross-eyed, using all of his like mental faculties to do these multis.
Yeah. He's just like, he's making less and less sense. He's like, yo, that's Lady and the Tramp got a baby and a lamp. I'm crazy off that lamp. Like, you're like, what's happening, And
he's like completely lost it.
Yeah. And you see a tear roll down the side of Jim Jones's face. And that means something to you. And all of a sudden you feel pity for Jones.
Yeah.
And Dipset, right?
A little bit. Like a small smidge of pity.
You now want to murder Eminem.
Okay, I don't want to murder Eminem. I don't want to come anywhere near Eminem.
But the only way to murder Eminem is to come at him with Maltese as well. So if I roll a 1 or 2, you run away and you don't engage the guys at all. If I roll 3 or 4, you run up to Eminem, you trip and fall and break your neck. At 5 or 6, you run up to Eminem and you start battling him with Maltese.
Okay, perfect. I'm hoping for a 5 and 6 because I don't want to die. Yeah. I mean, I guess I could just leave, but let's just continue on. Let's go for that roll.
Okay, so we roll it. It's your lucky day, Bill. You got a 6.
I thought you were gonna say it's a lucky day. You broke your neck. Perfect. Yeah. All right. What's in front of me? What's Marshall saying to me?
So, okay, he's like just battling, and you're like, you walk up behind him and you go, hey, you.
I'm sorry. Like he's not even breathing.
No.
He's just rapping.
It's just
all he knows is
his eyes
fine dining and rapping.
His eyes have rolled back completely, like
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'm
he's
here.
like,
I'm here.
Battle. You're like, M. You know, you call him out, and like you have to get his attention. What do you say?
I say, listen, man be lying. You softer than dandelions.
He like quickly looks over his shoulder and back to Dipset. Like you sort of almost got his attention, but then he's just like lost it again. You know, he's like scribbling, gibbling, dibbling, nibbling. Like I'm nibbling and scribbles and dibbling, ribbling. Got the riddling, diddling.
All right. I say skibbity bop.
That's it. He's turned around. Like, he's looking straight at you.
Skibbity bop. You look like the shittiest cop. I might just go get me a op.
He's like, might just give me a job dividends like he starts like lagging.
Right.
So like he's on his last leg. You gotta like finish him off. That's what you're thinking. You know, like clearly like you're
say
getting to him.
you hard, you lying man. You just a big pussy like a lion's mane.
And he's like, gibbling, ribbling, fibbling. But you can see that he's...
It's time for me to take my final stroke of death stroke.
And Jim Jones, you see Jim Jones, he puts his, like, he cups his hands around his mouth a little bit, like, but open cup style. And he, like, screams over, like, Eminem's shoulder, like, Scooby Snacks.
Oh,
Scooby
shit.
Snacks. He keeps saying that. And then Cameron joins them. Scooby Snacks. You know, Joel Santana's like, Scooby Snacks. Everybody's joining them in. Everyone's like, Scooby Snacks. Scooby Snacks. Scooby Snacks.
I put my hands in the air as if I was some sort of like Goku in Dragon Ball Z trying to absorb the energy for the spirit bomb. Okay? And I'm absorbing their Scooby Snack ass energy to hit him with my final death blow. I take a deep inhale in like this. And I say, lyrical, miracle, spiritual. And then I point at my balls, which are still exposed, and say, my balls are spherical.
Eminem's legs just like fold forwards like a horse's hind legs. And then
perfect.
He's now like about to collapse. Deliver the one final blow. He's there. You've almost done it.
I say 8 Mile, more like 8 Miled.
And he sees his motion. He stops moving completely, and it seems that you've won this battle.
I knew I would, as I always do. Marshall, we will fight another day in another plane of existence, but on this plane, I am the GOAT.
Yeah, Jim Jones runs over to you and gives you a big old smooch.
We start making out.
Yeah. And then, like, while you're making out, Cameron, like, slowly starts sitting you back into a chair and tying your arms. To be continued. That was really cool, Bill. I didn't know you went through all of that.
Yeah, well, you know, man.
What does it feel like?
Man.
That's your life. That's crazy, right?
Man, you know, like, not everyone can have an interesting, cool life like me. And I know that.
That's facts.
And so everyone who doesn't have that is beneath me, you know?
That's understandable.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Tons of rappers that are good at rapping who make interesting music. Like, my point is if like every song that you make is about like man, like fuck this is real hip hop, then it's like, what are you saying? Where's the substance?
And you're
in
not
that?
saying anything interesting. You're not doing it in any new ways. Then you're literally doing the thing that you're criticizing. Everything sounding the same and being vapid. You know, that's exactly what you're doing. And actually, you just reminded me of something. I don't know if you've seen this, but Crooked Eye has a podcast / kind of YouTube show called Crook's Corner. And he recently had Eminem on. I don't know if you listened to that one.
I saw like 5 minutes of it, and then my phone died.
I listened to the whole thing while I was playing Minecraft with my girl. And there were some things that were brought up that I agreed with, but I was honestly like not disappointed. I feel like I learned a lot about Eminem and why I feel like he struggles to evolve, you know, any further. And then again, I do feel like Eminem's paid his dues. I feel like the Marshall Mathers LP on its own is a valid enough reason to say, like, look, this guy's a legend. He's been in the game for like nearly 30 years now. He's had his hits, he's had his misses, whatever, right? But he was talking with Crook, and he made it really clear that to him, the polysyllabic rhyme schemes, the technical ability, those like wordplay punchlines, like which to me sometimes honestly just come across as corny dad jokes, right? It is what makes hip hop. And he says like, oh, and you know, you can have your top 10, but if you don't have like these people, or if you're not taking these things into consideration, then I don't take your top 10 seriously, right? Because he says like, to him it was more important than sometimes having meaning in a song. You know, he says sometimes he just want to rap, and he says, but that's what hip hop is. It's like wowing the other rappers, and it's like the technical ability. And I'm obviously I'm skimming through a lot of the details and the nuance that was sort of approached in the conversation. But overall, what I walked away with from that podcast understanding that to Eminem, the technical aspect is what matters most. But the way that he was phrasing it, honestly, what saddened me was that as if it's like sometimes it's like you have to have one and so you won't have the other, right? And then I look at people like Aesop Rock. Since we brought up Aesop Rock earlier, perfect example of somebody who does multis that are far more interesting than Eminem's multis. Don't start copy-pasting me like the 16-syllable rhyme schemes that M does. Aesop Rock uses words and bends rhymes in ways that is, to me, way more interesting. And it's like, oh, wow, he's not just repeating the same shit, like the same vocabulary over and over again. And again, I'm not saying Aesop Rock is better because he maybe has easier access to a thesaurus or something like that, or has more references that are kind of out there. No, it's just I find that the way he crafts the rhymes is better. The way that he delivers them doesn't sound like he's like really needs to use the fucking shitter and he's mad. And there's value to it beyond the you know what I mean? It's just like sometimes like M just sounds like he really needs to use the toilet, but somebody's told him he has to rap in front of the toilet for like 5 minutes first before he's let in, and he's just pissed.
That's the stipulation is he has to rap for his toilet time.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it seems to me sometimes. Not always, but oftentimes. And then Aesop Rock, to me, he's got, in my opinion, better flow, more interesting delivery, better rhyme schemes, but so technically, I would say, to me, he's not that much different from Eminem. He might not have always just everything rhymes with the next thing, but sometimes he has done that too, you know? Listen to reports of a possible kidnapping. Listen to his verse there and tell me it's not technically impressive, not just the words, but just the way that he ties everything together and tells a narrative. And that's my next point. He's able to communicate a narrative. He's able to communicate emotions, feelings. He has. I listen to Aesop Rock songs back. It's because there's things I pick up on it that over and over again, like with I guess more lightweight example would be Jay-Z. A lot of people say, oh, you know, with Jay, like, you listen to Hova once, you're like, damn, that was dope. You listen to him second time, you pick up new things, and you do it again, third, you pick up more things. To me, Aesop Rock has been doing that better for a long time. And again, I love Hova. You know I love Hova.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that's kind of like his thing. But then I also, as I listen to it, I also sometimes pick up on technical things I didn't pick up on before. To me, there doesn't seem to be a sacrifice of you know, like the meaning of song has to take a backseat to the technical abilities, or vice versa. To me, that's a sign of a if you're trying to be one of these super technical rappers, which again, to me, that's not the end all be all personally. But if that is to you, I still feel like putting people like M in your on top of your list means that you probably haven't explored beyond that. Because Doom does crazy multis too.
Yeah.
You know, like there's plenty of people out there who do crazy multis and they don't sacrifice on the other qualities of their songs. You know, and so, yeah, I don't know. I think I was just not mad. I was just perplexed as to how Eminem thought like those qualities were. The way he was talking about them oftentimes made it seem like as if he thought they were exclusive. You know, like, and that one is more important than the other. In my opinion,
I think Eminem's window is
weird. I would prefer a song
weird.
that doesn't have multis. I would prefer a song that doesn't have multis, but that touches me or hits me or means something to me, than a song that is just all multis and has no meaning. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah,
So,
of course, and that's part of it is opinion, and I get that, but it's just like, oh God, I had a really good point and I just totally lost it. Where'd it go? Hold on, it's coming, it's coming back. I'm gonna leave this in.
Come back to
bed. I was gonna say, fucking, it's gone. It'll come back later.
Okay, well, then I'll just kind of reiterate the point of like, and sometimes I like to listen to songs that aren't technically impressive, don't have any meaning, but they just sound great too. You know, there's different reasons for different things. And to me, the technical aspect is very impressive and I love engaging it. If you listen to my music, I'm very heavy on polysyllabic rhyme schemes in a lot of my songs. Not all of my songs, but in a lot of my songs. But to me, that is like the least important thing. If I had like a pyramid that I built as for like what matters the most to me in a song, that's like at the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, I remember what I was going to say.
It's cool, but it is what it is.
I was going to say, I think that Eminem's window is probably weird. Like what he like. Okay. I think that I can understand why someone would not like Aesop Rock or Doom, based on,
for sure.
Like I could understand that like the average listener. Okay, for example, like my girlfriend, I use her as a gauge for like casual rap listeners. Okay, people who don't listen to it for maybe the same reasons that we do, you know. And I think that like I can play her like Aesop Rock or Doom, and like she likes them, but I don't think she would go out of her way. I've never heard her go out of her way to listen to either of them. You see what I'm saying? So I think that she's like the type of person that like I could look at through to the eyes of someone who is not super into rap the way that I am. You know, like she likes rap music. Obviously, it's like we listen to that and fucking bedroom pop all the time together. But like I think that there are aspects of like Aesop Rock and Doom that are like really complex and dense, and it's like you have to kind of sit down and like analyze them, and a lot of people don't like doing that, right? And that's fine. Like I think that that's a fair thing to not enjoy, you know. I think a lot of people like Eminem are kind of like that in a way. Like I think a lot of rap heads listen to Aesop Rock and their first thought, or even Doom, their first thought is like, what are they saying? Like they don't get it. Like it just goes over their head, which once again, fine. Like that's fine if it's just like not hitting for you immediately and you don't get it. Like that's, you know, I think that you're missing out because there's a whole bunch of.
Or if you are enjoying, or even if you're enjoying those artists, but you don't know what they're talking about. So my girl is an example of someone, she listens to Doom and Aesop Rock on her own. She doesn't really listen particularly to the lyrics. She just loves how everything is put together, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, again, there's no shame in, like, not dissecting the lyrics of everything you ever listen to.
Yeah, of course. But what I'm getting at, though, is I look at someone like Eminem, and I think that his music is very straightforward. And it always has been. Like, even at his peak, when I consider him to be really good at rapping, it's always been very straightforward. I think that era of rap music was generally more straightforward. And the idea of adding
in the mainstream, at least,
yeah, of course. Like, it seemed like that era of mainstream rap was very much, this is how I feel, this is why I felt it, and here it is. You know what I mean? And or I'm going to do this because I felt blank, and that is the song. You know what I mean? And there's like, I like that era of rap, and I think that that's cool. I don't think there's anything wrong with being like super straightforward. But if you were to put something that is like very subtle in front of them, when clearly they don't listen to that type of music, they're not going to like get it. It's not going to like hit the same way. I think that especially him, I know he's like a big fan of battle rap and like King of the Dot and stuff like that. And all that music is there's dudes in King of the Dot that I fucking like their music. Like I listen to Geechee Gotti all the time. I think Geechee makes great music and he's a good battler, but I think that he's not trying that Arsenal's battle. Okay. Yeah. I never really heard Arsenal's music like that, but like, there's like Shoddy Horror made some good stuff.
Shoddy Horror is great.
Yeah. Fucking, I love the Drugs EP from like 2015. It's a really good one.
Body, toe tags, body.
Oh yeah. But that's just catchy and cool, and it's not like fucking. And he can rap his ass off. Like Shoddy can fucking rap. Like when I hear Shoddy rap, like especially when he did that one thing with what's his name, Charlie Sloth. I remember like being like, damn, like Eminem would eat this up. You know, he would love this.
Yeah, Eminem would love that.
But then when you listen to his records, it's not really like that, because he knows, he's just like, okay, like this is a thing that's been done, and like let's do something different, you know. And I think someone like Eminem, they don't listen to, they're just hung up, and it's fine. Like he's hung up on what he likes, and it's a very particular thing that I think that isn't really that hard to do. Maybe to me, because I rapped and I've rapped for so long, I look at that and I'm like, wow, that's like kind of easy. Like all of those things are like, if you set out to do it. And that was kind of the joke with the original tweet, was like, I'm doing all the things I'm making fun of very easily. Like I wrote it in like 3 minutes, and it was dumb, and I wasn't like trying to make it good, you know, but it was like a joke. And that was kind of the whole joke. And I think that's why it might've went over some people's heads, but that's why. And that's the thing that I can't understand about it though, is like, if anyone should know that it's easy, it will be Eminem. Do you see what I'm getting at? Right. Like he's like the guy who's like,
but to him is the punchlines. It was another thing that he brought up, but the punchlines were like, you know, he for instance was kind of like surprised at the backlash with the "your booty's heavy duty like diarrhea" line, right? He said it's like, yeah, I get it. It's not like the most mind blowing line of all time, but it's like it's funny and it's a punchline, right? And it's kind of like, well, it's like making a dad joke and then being like weirded out that people aren't laughing, or people are like,
yeah. Well, I also think though, I've done some like really heavy analysis on that line. Okay. Because I remember being on the Rap Critic podcast, and that was like the thing that I kept bringing up, because we reviewed Revival, and I kept bringing up that line, and I was just like, yo, like, how can y'all, or not y'all, Rap Critic was the only one that liked it. Yeah, like Muse didn't like it. And I was like, how can you defend it when like this exists on the album, like this y'all king, you know? And then I like kind of like analyzed it, and I was just like, if someone who was like actually funny, like they seemed like they had like funny delivery, said that bar, it would be like, obviously it's a fucking bad bar, but it could be funny if it was said the right way. If that makes any sense. Like clearly like, I don't take myself seriously, right? But the reason why it doesn't work at all on that song is because he's rapping it in a way that sounds like, yo, this is serious. Like, even if it is like a jokey kind of song, it sounds like he was like, yo, this is hard. Whereas like, I think that when you realize like, if you were to say a bad bar like that, and the joke is that it's a bad bar, you know, like in the context of the song, it makes sense, but not when you're like, this is clever, because it's not, you know what I mean? So
yeah, and I mean like, and if you really want to go in the direction of stupid butt jokes, Eminem's done better. I'm gonna give like an example of like an infamously hated line, which I think is just way funnier objectively.
Please do so.
On that song with Rihanna, it's a Rihanna song actually, and he says, "I'm the siren that you hear. I'm the butt police and I'm looking at your rear. Like,
so stupid.
It's so stupid, but it's funny. It's exactly. It's funny because it's so dumb. Whereas your booty's heavy duty diarrhea is kind of like, it's not. You know how some dad puns or dad jokes are funny because how bad they are.
Yeah.
The heavy duty diarrhea line, it's like it's on the cusp of that where it's like it's not like you can tell they're trying to be stupid funny, but it's just not funny. Like it's just dumb. But the rear one is creative enough like where I'm like, that shit made me fucking laugh the first time I
well,
like
okay.
this grown ass man said that.
You
on
know
a
what
song
it really
with
sounds like to
Rihanna.
me? There's like levels to it. And imagine Eminem did not rap and he was a dad. But he still had all of these like thoughts in his head and like these like dad jokes like came to him. And he's just like hanging out and, you know, like, let's say he had a son and his son's there and then like his friends are there and then they're all like, they went to like Hooters. Okay. And then he looks at a woman from far away and then he says the rear line. Right, like as like a joke, you're like, yo, I'm the booty police. I'm looking at her rear, and then like everyone just fucking like laughs because it's stupid. But then if he said, her booty is heavy duty like diarrhea, that sounds like a fucking like really weird pickup line. Also, just like, why is it? Listen, man, let's talk for a second. Why is he equating like a gorgeous ass to like runny shit? Do you feel me? Like it's such a weird.
That's exactly it. It's just like it's a bad poop joke. It's a bad poopy joke. You know, like this is the kind of joke I would maybe laugh if you improvised it in the middle of a Game Grumps episode. You know. Not on the fucking like song when you're considered yeah, like I can't just. But if you're supposed to be one of the goats of rap, you're a legend with 3 decades in the game, and you say that on a song, and like, I mean, fine, but don't expect me to take it seriously or think it's funny or think it's got some value. Like there's stupid jokes that have value or hit harder. That one didn't. That one's just. No, you know, it's like I say, like a liar's pants. I'm on fire again. Like there's no. What you gonna tell me that's like a hard ass? I write punchlines. I write punchlines way better than that if I need to. So if I can do it within like a minute, then Eminem can do it because he's got way more practice in. Surely he can sit there and think of something different. You know, something that hits better.
I think also it's just like. I'm looking at this from a critical standpoint in the sense of like, I want to like Eminem. Like, I want him to put out a record and me be like, wow, this is good. You know, like there's a part of me that's rooting for him in a way, especially after, the Marshall Mathers LP2. And he has all these songs about him getting older. And it was kind of charming because it's like him talking about like, oh, I don't know how to fucking use an iPod. You know what I mean? Like, that that boomer ass energy is so funny to me, and I was like, that whole I like that record. It was pretty good, and
Marshall Mathers LP2 was pretty good. But that's the thing. I think he needs to like first of all stop singing, possibly. Like I know that he's had some good hooks, but if I had to get his album and it's like, oh Rav, you're gonna get 4 good hooks and 4 bad ones, I'd rather be like, all right, just don't have. Eminem hooks. Stop getting women to sing on your hooks. Stop getting anyone singing on your hooks. Stop it with the fucking singy hooks. They suck. You have a terrible ear for hooks. Stop it. Get fucking. You work with Alchemist. Alchemist is your DJ, your tour DJ is one of the greatest producers of all time.
Like
get him to
as
produce your album.
Just imagine this, okay? This is what I want from Eminem, and I know that like he's gonna want to make what he wants to make, and I think he has this like idea in his head of like, yo, if I get Ed Sheeran on this song, like people will like it, you know? But like, if I would love to hear like an Alchemist produced full album from Eminem don't have any features on it other than just fucking rappers. The people that he's trying to impress. Get fucking Black Thought on like every other song.
Get Black Thought. Get Royce. You know, get all the people that
get Crook and get all these fucking people on there. Like fucking like diss Joe Budden again for some reason. I don't care what you do on the fucking album. Okay, just fucking rap. Try to do what you're doing, this rapidy rap ass shit over hard ass beats, you know. And this is a man who's like very aware of like Griselda, you know. And I look at like Griselda and I'm like, those dudes got it. Like they know what they're doing. Like,
and clearly Eminem understands that, right? Because he signed them. Like, Eminem's like a huge Griselda fan, and yet it's so weird how his music is like almost on the opposite.
Yeah, it's
sonically.
Weird. It's so weird because he's clearly like into that, and I'm like sitting here just like, how could you not like Alchemist or like any of those fucking dudes who made beats for Griselda? Like, how could you not hear that and be like, yo, I want to rap on that? Like as soon as I hear Griselda
Eminem.
beats,
he has access to everyone. He could fucking probably call up No ID and be like, give me a beat. And No ID will give him a beat. He could hit up Madlib and be like, give me... This guy knows about Madlib. He knew about Jay Dilla. Jay Dilla was blowing up in Detroit before Eminem was. Proof was like Eminem's and Jay Dilla's best friend, right? Eminem referenced Jay Dilla in the latest Mike Tyson podcast, which I also listened to while I was playing Minecraft with my girl, because I'll listen to podcasts a lot. But you know, he's familiar with these people. He knows that this music is out there. He knows he has all the access in the world, and he doesn't pursue it. I think, honestly, just even if you limit it just to Alchemist, and also like your manager, Paul Rosenberg, I don't know if he manages him anymore, but he manages, or at least used to manage, also Action Bronson and Danny Brown. These guys know how to make hooks. Get them on your hooks.
Yeah.
They'll fucking rap. Action Bronson will just like rap 4 bars over and over again and sound hard as hell. And it'll be a million times better than that white lady he always sings with.
I was gonna say, I just wish I had the ability to do like what Action does. And he just like can go out there and like, you can tell it's like low effort, but he does it. It's like he could just be like, he could breathe. And it's just like, this sounds fucking hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just something about, I think he sounds like, hard. And like all these dudes like are like clearly in that. It's just, you know what it feels like to me? And I just now came to him. That's crazy. That is crazy. Like when you think about it, like he did open for him and like all this stuff. And like Danny Brown was on a song with him, that Detroit versus Everybody, right? Like he was on that.
They toured together. Eminem, Action Bronson, Danny Brown, and Slaughterhouse all toured together.
That's so weird because it's like, imagine it. It's like, I just now like came to this conclusion and I just don't understand how he could like be missing this. Is like, he is trying so hard to impress a demographic that does not give a fuck about the type of beats that he's rapping on or the type of hooks. Like he's so hard to be like, yo, I want to be the best fucking rapper. Like it's his thing, is he wants to be a good fucking rapper. That's fine. Like if that's what you want to go all in on, then why do you have Ed Sheeran on your song? Why do you have songs with fucking, it's just like piano with major chords and you're rapping over it?
Yeah.
And like, why, it doesn't make sense. Why is it just doesn't, it's like the formula doesn't make sense. If you really want to fucking impress those people, if you want to impress me, because I think Eminem, if he would like really sit down and like he had someone with him who was like, that line's trash, you know, like someone who like fucking sat there and was just like walking him through it, holding his hand through it in that kind of way, like, and be like, yo, think about this before you say it. If he were to do that and have like underground production or that style of production, have features that are more like angled at like these boom bappy heads that like, he could make a great record, but I just don't see it happening with the way his taste.
Because I feel like maybe he does surround himself with yes men. I do think he's confused about what demographic he's trying to hit. I think he's in that like he's GOAT status, one of the best selling artists of all time. He needs to sell, so he feels like he needs to compromise maybe sonically on certain things. But honestly, Eminem, neither you nor the people around you know what a poppin' ass sound is supposed to sound like, because your last 4 or 5 albums, none of those songs, to me, were super commercially viable in a way that I think like that you'd be happy with if you took if you were from the outside looking in as a rap fan. Eminem is a rap fan. He loves hip hop above all else, and yet it's like he's just stuck in trying to like find this compromise of some sort to make his music work. When I agree, man. If he had just one, if he was in the same room as Danny Brown and Action Bronson, and they were just there listening to him, not even saying this is good or bad. Like, I wonder if he would write some of these corny ass lines. Because, Action Bronson and Danny Brown, they write jokey rhymes, but it's actually funny. It's actually like, it works. It's not, I don't know. With a lot of times with Eminem, it's just, I'm not saying all of it is trash, but sometimes it's just like overwhelming how like upsetting it is that this guy is supposed to be a legend, and this is what he's saying. Yeah. And this is the kind of production he's rapping over. What the fuck is with this production? This doesn't make any goddamn sense for him.
I feel like even the there's moments where, like on Kamikaze and the last record, where he's trying to rap over like trap beats, but it still feels like trap beats made from the outside. Like, I don't understand like, you have so much access to everything, and it's just like no one will turn down Eminem. Like, no one will say no. As much shit as people talk, if Eminem came with that fucking check, like, they're fucking gonna do it. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, get a fucking beat from fucking, I don't know, get some crazy shit. Get like Working on Dying or something weird. Why do the weird imitation? Why be the weird imitation of that? Why not just go to the source?
Bro, because you know why? Because Eminem probably hits these producers for beats. They probably give him packs, and he goes for the ones that sound the most like, him to him, right? Like, this is the closest to my style. And knowing Eminem, he's pretty hands-on with the production. Even the beats that he does get, he adds his own stuff. He removes certain things. He replaces certain drum sounds. And in the process of doing that, he ends up like ruining it. Eminem. Another thing Crooked Eye said in the that fucking podcast was like, you know what makes me mad? When they bring up top 5, rapper producers of all time, nobody ever brings you up. How you feel about that? I wish I was in that room and just say like, well, of course they're not gonna fucking bring him up. Are you kidding me? What the fuck? Why would anyone bring Eminem up in that conversation?
Yeah,
LP belongs in that conversation.
Yeah.
Aesop Rock, Doom, Madlib. There's so many like people who, even Alchemist. Alchemist is a better rapper producer than Eminem is. If you're talking about the full package, Eminem's beats are trash. Don't talk to me about Lose Yourself and all these other things. He's had some successful songs. To me, Lose Yourself is fucking played out too. But like
I think that he's
not like a great beat maker.
My thought process on this is that like, I think that there were definitely some like pretty trash Eminem beats, and he had some that were good, and he had like a signature sound at one point, right?
That's right, yeah.
And I remember it was very moody, kind of, they used the same chord progression a lot. Like, it seemed like a lot of minor chords going into another minor
Moment
chord.
of Clarity by Jay-Z,
yeah.
The Cross by Nas, those kinds of songs, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it sounded to me kind of like just a moodier Dr. Dre. Like that type of beat, like the same kind of like almost like the explosive type drums. And then like he would put like strings, and like I think it was a vibe for a minute. Like there was definitely like a few songs that he had that were like pretty good, but like I think that it's so hard to have that conversation about him being like best rapper producer when there's people who like marketed themselves as rapper producers, and two, like Kanye exists. And I'm sorry, like
Kanye,
when you look
Q-Tip.
at someone like Kanye, Q-Tip, like all these people, fucking Doom, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you look at all these
LP,
LP, Aesop Rock, like he produced like one of his best records was like just solely produced by him, you know? And so I look at that and I'm just like, it's so easy to say, well, first of all, it's such a weird take. I think it's such an odd take, and it seems like he was just trying to like be cool and nice to him. Yeah, you know, and like I think he was just trying to say in a way, like, yo, you're an underrated producer. That's what he wanted to say. When you say it that way, it just seems like there's always this like weird hyperbole of just like it has to be like the most extreme of like, yo, when they talk about such and such, why don't they bring you up? You know, and I'm like, why does that have to
be the best of all time? Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. You could just say like, "Yo, your beats are good." Like that's all you have to say.
Right? Yeah.
You know?
Bro, you know how many rappers, producers? I'm a rapper producer. Bill's a rapper producer. Square's a rapper producer. Era's a rapper producer. Roger's a rapper producer. Ashido's a rapper producer. Damn near everybody I know is a rapper producer. And Eminem's shit. Again, you're right. You know what? He's had good moments. Let me not just say outright all of his shit was trash. That's not what I'm trying to imply. I'm just saying overall. No. Like, if you give me a beat pack of Eminem beats, I'm going to be like, yo, who's going to fucking listen to this? Who's going to fucking listen to this? And they have not stood the test of time. Jay Dilla's music stood the test of time. You could put on Jay Dilla. You could put on Q-Tip circa 91. And I'm going to be like, yes. Fucking, yo. Give me another one. Give me another Q-Tip produced song. Q-Tip rapping on top of it. Give me another Tribe Called Quest song, you know? Give me another LP song from Funk Crusher Plus.
I just remembered, I don't want to interrupt you, but I remembered one really slap of a fucking Eminem beat because I was like, did he make this? I looked it up. Do you remember that song, I'm Supposed to Die Tonight by 50 Cent?
Loosely, yes. I remember the hook.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I like that song a lot, but I think that the beat was that was like the characteristic of everything that I like about Eminem's old production was like
right.
This like, yeah. But sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, you're right. Eminem's produced, you know, and again, like Lose Yourself. Personally, I don't find that production incredible. I find that it's like it's like I could see why people really fucking with that song. I get it. I personally find it like the beat, whatever. But I know that he did things I did like. I loved Till I Collapse, you know? I thought that was a dope thing that he did. But then I also hated like the real Slim Shady. I thought that shit was garbage.
Did he make that beat?
And then I don't know. I assumed that it was either him or one of his producers. Like the Bass Brothers or whatever. Whatever they were called.
I'm about to look it up really quick because I'm interested. Okay, no.
You know, Moment of Clarity is good.
The Real Slim Shady was produced by Melman and Dr. Dre.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that weird?
Well, that song's trash. That is weird. I mean, yeah. At the same time, it's not too weird. Again, I was never one of those people that thought every Dr. Dre beat is incredible. You know?
No.
I do think most of the NWA era, Chronic era beats, 2001 era beats are fantastic, but not all of them. The Way I Am, that was an Eminem produced one, right? That's probably I would say that's the best to me because it's so unique. That song is so unique and in a good way, where it's like, yeah, nothing sounds like that. And I remember when I was hearing it, it was like, it's like I was associating almost like a shade in my head with Eminem. But it's just like, wow, like this, nobody's made music like this. Nobody sounds like that, and it's good. He's in his fucking pocket. The Way I Am is an incredible song to this day. Will I bump it on a daily? Probably not, but I really appreciate what he did, and I can't take away that was just like, that's incredible.
I am just whatever you say I am. If I was, that is a good song.
Like, it's simplistic, but it works, you know, those bells fucking chiming and shit, and the piano fucking back and forth, like a very simple chord, but it's tight. I fuck with. Okay, so not all of Eminem's beats are trash. I'm just saying overall, I feel like there's a reason why people don't bring Eminem into that conversation. As you said, we have people like Kanye West and Q-Tip and LP. Just those three people alone, for instance, is a good enough reason to be like, Eminem just doesn't belong in that conversation. Because production-wise, he's just never hit those same highs and consistency.
Dude.
But you know,
listen.
That's it, man. Fuck all that noise. Eminem, just make a fucking album with The Alchemist, please. Let him be the executive producer, or like give it to someone else to like be in charge of it.
I feel like Al would not allow him to be trash.
You're probably
dude. You're probably right.
Dude, you're probably right wing.
Listen, don't bring up my voting history just because I voted for Romney.
The fuck you say to me, you little shit?
It's just funny how like as you grow up, the things that you care about, well, I'd say the things you care about shift, but also like society shifts. Like there's been such a big societal shift in terms of like how like music is consumed and the way
art in general, yeah,
like art is consumed and like people's attitudes towards it have changed a lot. I feel like maybe it's also the people you're hanging around, because like I feel like I don't really hang around a lot of the people that I did when I was younger.
And now looking back, it's crazy because like a lot of them are hella bigoted. And it's like, damn, they're still bigoted. Like, what the fuck? Like, some of them never grew out of it.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. They're products of their environment. You know, and we make the decisions to hang out with who we hang out with. But I wanted to actually briefly talk about Ice Cube.
Let's talk about Ice Cube.
Growing up, Ice Cube was one of my favorite rappers. For a long time, he was like my favorite rapper. There was like a period of years. It's kind of, it jumped between, I think it started with Q-Tip, then it was Nas. And then it was like a bunch of different rappers. It would be like Redman, and there'd be like Eminem, and then it'd be like Ghostface Killah, and then like at some point it became Ice Cube, and it stayed Ice Cube for like years.
Yeah.
And to this day, I feel like it's really hard for me to. I always feel bad whenever people ask me for my top 5 in that moment, and if I exclude Ice Cube, I feel bad, because it's like he's so important, and I think ultimately I would side him, because for a long time I was like, oh, you know, a lot of people say, oh, this aggressive stuff I do, and a lot of people draw like an Eminem comparison whenever I do a more aggressive-ish kind of stuff. And I used to tell myself like, well, I don't know, like I was like LL Cool J like makes more sense to me, because like that's where I think I picked it up from initially.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, maybe it's this and maybe that. But then I kind of realized, no, it's Ice Cube. It's just I don't sound like him because I don't have the vocal register, and I don't have the same subject matter. But his energy and just like focus, lyrical focus, was so impressive to me. And he's forever just like one of the greatest of all time. And for those who aren't very familiar with his catalog, his first 3 albums are all incredible. You know, it's very rare for a person to have 3 great albums, period, in their entire careers. His first 3 albums were just flawless.
Oh, Donnie Yellow, this is a good question. Sir Bill, I missed the epic rap battle between you and Mr. Fantano. Please give us a play-by-play of what happened. Okay, so this is funny. So recently, Matt Watson of SuperMega and Harrison Tucker and Jackson Tucker and Carson Tucker, all I guess all of SuperMega. The guys at SuperMega did a charity stream for Color of Change to donate money. I'm not exactly sure if Color of Change was for bail fund stuff or if it was just like a general, like a Black Lives Matter, like if they went and kind of diversified those funds or not. I'm not entirely sure, but I do know that they did a really good charity for Color of Change, and they raised like $76,000 in a single night, a single stream, which is so fucking cool. And I was streaming. I gave them like I pushed my stream back like an hour, and because I wanted to tune into their stream. And I thought it was way more important than whatever the fuck I was doing. And after about an hour, I hopped on stream. And then towards the very end of it, Carson shot me a text and asked me if I would like to be on the stream. And that Rav had just joined. And I was like, yes, of course, I'd love to be on. I come on, Rav was about to leave because it was really super late. But I decided I was going to like stay on there and kind of like just talk. And I figured I don't have as big of an audience as they do, but even if it's just a small number of people came in just to see me, that's like more heads in the room, and I should just be in there, even if I could just say like, oh hey, that's funny, you know, from time to time. Maybe that'll get more heads in the room, it'll be more money, you know, because I do believe in the cause that they were fighting for. So about this is where it gets wild. About an hour and a half in of me being there, they were trying to get all these different people on. They tried to get Ian from Smosh, but he couldn't get his Discord working. They got Too Mad in there, a couple other people. Melty Cannon was in there, which shout out to Melty Cannon. I've been a big fan of his for like a long time, so it was really cool to like link up and talk to him. But then they tried to get Anthony Fantano on, and I was like, okay, like, I don't even really know if Anthony Fantano really knows who I am. You know, he retweeted this thing that I did that was like me doing this joke about like lyrical miracle rappers and all this shit. I knew that he retweeted our album, and I was like, fuck, like, okay, he has to kind of know who I am, you know? But I was nervous, bro. So he comes on, and it's like as soon as he starts talking, I'm like, fuck, it's like, it's him. You know, it's his voice comes on. You know, immediately comes on. It's like, damn, that sounds just like him, you know? And then it was literally like 2 seconds in, he just goes, Kill Bill the Rapper. And I was like, what the fuck? You know, I'm freaking out because I'm like, fuck, that's Anthony Fantano, bro. I've been watching him since 2011. He's the dude who put me onto death grips practically, you know? And so then he's like, I challenge you to a lyrical miracle rap battle. And I'm like, there's like fucking almost 4,000 people in the room. Anthony Fantano's there. My fucking heart is racing a mile a minute, dude. My palms are sweaty, my knees weak, my arms were heavy, bro. And I'm like, fucking dying. He just starts freestyling this really funny, like, it was obviously not serious, but it was really fucking funny, you know, and everybody was eating it up, you know. And then it comes to me, and I'm just like, I don't even remember what I said, but I know it was lame, bro, because I was so nervous. And Anthony Fantano washed me in a rap battle, Lyrical Miracle. I don't even remember. I just remember I had this whole thing about pull strings like a banjo. You've got a man's nose. It was really weird. I hope that he didn't like think like, oh, it makes me like, okay. It makes me worried that like if no one knew my music and that was their first introduction to me, they would be like, who the fuck is this clown? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how that went down. I DM'd him after and was just like, oh, you didn't have to wash me like that, you know? And then I fangirled a little bit, and then he was cool and he just said, I hope I'm doing good and shit. But yeah, I didn't keep hitting him up or anything. I don't want to seem like I was like some like fanboy clout chaser or something. But yeah, that's how that went down. It was very embarrassing for me, though. I'm not going to lie to you. I got washed. Babe. And then they walk off. Like, they literally said babe back and forth like that. It was so weird. It was like watching a cartoon.
I love that.
And then one time I did one. I was sick. And all the other DJs on that company like were on other gigs, and so I couldn't call out.
How sick? Like kickflip sick?
Yeah, like I was like, I was Indy 900 sick, whatever the fuck that is. You know?
Oh yeah. Oh dude, that's pretty sick. Yo, you were Indy 1080 sick.
Yeah,
like
dude.
Impossibly sick.
Yeah. I was really fucking sick. No, I was actually really sick. Like it felt like the flu. It wasn't the flu, but it was like flu-like symptoms. Oh,
I see.
You know?
Yeah.
And I remember like I went to this. I was trying to think of like some way. So I take like Tylenol, and then it wasn't really helping that much. And then like my old roommate gave me an Adderall and was like, "This'll help."
Yeah.
Which, by the way. Adderall does not help if you're sick. I don't know why you would do that.
Hey man, I have a headache. It's okay, bro. I got some cocaine right here and meth.
And so I'm just like sick and railed the fuck up off Adderall, okay? And I get there, and it was like a long drive. It was like an hour and a half drive to this venue. And we get there, I set up, I feel like I'm gonna die. And then like, okay, my boss, like, we had a laptop. Like, I used my laptop to play music off of, but then he also had like these CDJs, and he would burn CDs that were like, instead of using USBs, for some fucking reason, he would burn CDs all the time because he didn't trust technology because he was a boomer. He would burn CDs of like the music that the people asked for, you know, that were like their special songs. Well, he fucked up and he left off. Do you know that song Cheerleader, like the remix? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, the Cheerleader, that song. Yeah. So he leaves that song off there. He fucked up, right? And it was this dude from Boston. And he was getting married to this lady from Boston. And then he like comes over and he's just like, he's like, where's Cheerleader? Like, I don't know, like, that's a special song. Where's Cheerleader? You don't have Cheerleader? And I told him, I was just like, listen, my boss didn't put it on there. And he like railed me out. Like he cursed me out in Bostonian for like
what did he
10
call
minutes.
You?
What he called me like, he just called me motherfucker a lot, you know? But it was just like, but it was just mad funny because
what's wrong with this country?
It was like that type of shit.
Yeah.
It was real out there, man. And I'm just sitting here just like, and first of all, fuck that fucking song, dude. It's not that good. I don't care if it's your special fucking song, bro. I just told him, I was like, I don't have it. I was like, I don't have it. And I didn't have like an aux cable. I would have just like looked it up on my phone, but I didn't have one, you know? And yeah, dude. So fuck that guy, dude. His wife was very nice.
So if you ever like get tired of this rap shit, you could just become a divorce DJ.
Yeah, I think a divorce DJ is. What would you play at a divorce, though? Like just divorce, like music about divorce? Would I play like So Sick by Neo?
Just Lose It by Eminem.
The judge just goes, yeah, you're losing the house and the kids. You just hear like, just lose it.
Hello, my name is Dello. I rather not show the rest of the clips of Kill Bill and Rav talking about Eminem. They talk too much about something else and then say something about Eminem. I've already wasted your time anyways, but I rather make it quick and be done with. So here is a collab of the Chibi Boys saying
Eminem.
Eminem.
Say Eminem.
Eminem.
The Eminem Slim Shady.
By Eminem and had Eminem on it.
Sorry, this isn't a super mega compilation. I love the ChibiChubby content and I just like to make compilations on them too. Sorry, I could have used my real voice to do the narration, but I'm too shy to have my voice heard out to the world. Suck my nuts.
Alright, now it's taken care of.
We want Rav? Well, that's too damn bad. Butthole Dello. Yeah, that's the other name we call you behind your back. You ugly son of a bitch.